Hi, we just finished meeting for the first intonation practice of 2025. And we didn't have too many, but we had really good practice and some interesting side conversations. So our first one goes out at 8:30. Our first one goes out at 8:30. So you don't have to say this T in first. If you do, you can make a connection. First one. If you don't, our first one. And that would be totally fine and be understood. Our first one goes out at, goes out connects, and T changes to a D, out dat, and this T changes to a D, out dad date, because 8 begins with a vowel, so you're going to connect it, and 8:30, this T you won't hear, and 30, the T in 30 changes to a D. So now there's a lot of D's close together. Our first one goes out at 8:30. And I don't have to say our, even though it's the pronoun our. We can just be lazy and say our. Our first one goes out at 8:30. Our first one goes out at 8:30. Goes out at date. That part right there was tricky for a lot of people. And even me, when I was writing this down, I had to redo it several times, thinking, yeah, I do say out at 8. Out at 8:30. Our first one goes out at 8:30. Where you want to end up, I'm going to change want to wanna. And so you could also be more casual and change you to ya, where ya. I kept it you, I don't know why. Where you want to end up and work your way backwards. Work your way. Instead of a your, I'm making this more casual your. So where you want to end up, and work your way backwards. Where you want to end up and work your way backwards. Emma's life felt like a distorted reflection of what it once was. I didn't rewrite all of it because there weren't a lot of connections. Like a will connect, reflection of will connect, would it. So, what it once was. There's a lot of W's. So, what it once was. You have to round your lips a lot for the wah. What it, what this T will change to a D. Would it, and the second T you won't hear at all. Just hold the tongue there. What it once was. What it once was. Emma's life felt like a distorted reflection of what it once was. Distorted. This T in the middle will change to a D. Emma's life felt like a distorted reflection of what it once was. Straight from the horse's mouth. Straight, we worked on this vowel because it's an A and you need both parts. A, your tongue should rise. You won't hear that final T. Straight, hold it, from the horse's mouth. Horse's mouth. Straight from the horse's mouth. And I didn't rewrite this one. Maybe I could just make it overflow instead of overflow. No? Okay. Our sales reps visit customers 4 days a week, but come here on Fridays. Our instead of our, sales is the same A as straight. So we had contrast between cells, which is se, and say, almost two parts, sales. And that's different than seal. So I could make that plural too. Seals. So cell is a regular flat, doesn't move. Cells, but say your tongue has to rise. Sales and slides down, and seals is very high. Seals. So our sales reps visit customers 4 days a week. Days, but no T, but come here on Fridays. Our sales reps visit customers 4 days a week, but come here on Fridays. That's it. Wow. Our first one goes out at 8:30. Nope. Our first one goes out at 8:30. Where you want to end up and work your way backwards. Emma's life felt like a distorted reflection of what it once was. Straight from the horse's mouth. Our sales reps visit customers 4 days a week, but come here on Fridays. And the other thing we had here, the pronunciation of the sounds like E before a vowel more often. So it would be the apple. And that makes an invisible Y I didn't put there. The apple. And the sounds like the when it's before a consonant, the banana. But in reality and in regular speech in real time, nobody's going to notice if you say the or the. It's not going to change the meaning. It's not important. So it's shortened and goes by really quickly. Um, what time does the bus get here? What time does the bus? Did I say the bus or the bus? Nobody's paying attention. And in writing, it looks the same, so don't worry about that in speaking. Uh, Being was an example. McGurk effect. This is a really interesting um, research that shows your brain is going to perceive what it's expecting. In this case, it's a visual. Is the sound you hear going to sound like a B because you can see the lips together? Ba. Or is it going to sound like an F? Fa. Because you can see where the placement is. I think that's a really cool thing. So you can check that out. I think that's it. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing you next week and have a good week. And that's it. See you soon.